The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté radio station. This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.
Omandaha.
Molo.
Omandaha.
Matisa.
Omandaha.
Warapo.
Good morning, Kalfi.
Goeiemorgen.
And morning to all our listeners and viewers out there. It's a blue.
We have an
Monday.
empty chair.
Yeah, we have an empty chair. I think.
Should I move closer?
No.
Are you a bit alone?
For now, you can move closer.
I think so.
Yeah, it's definitely a Monday morning, and you know what I wanted to say, Kaufi, is that I do feel that this past weekend I was really despising you in some way or the other because van regtig nee, ek kan nie verstaan nie nee. The stuff, the information that you share with us here. On the morning mix,
Right.
or Informanté live,
Right.
is not what it's supposed to be.
Is it too unhappy news or is it happy
Yeah,
news?
it's unhappy news because Kaufi, you give the idea that it's going to be a good weather,
Right.
and I kry sulke nonsense.
Yeah, but I did say last week that it was that colder, windy conditions can be expected.
Nee?
Yes.
Nee, jy's reg. In fact, you did say it that there will be some coldy and windy conditions. Huh?
You just need to open up a channel there.
There you go.
No, actually, don't. I wanted to ask you, is that the whole show?
What?
Is that for the whole show?
Nee. Ja. So, maar morning Tuva.
Morning.
Ja, jy kan net môre sê. As sal ons aangaan
morning.
later. Yeah. So, Kaufi, so it's been a weekend of cold and wind.
Yes, and
some news. So let's get straight
into the news.
Informanté News. Informanté News. Firm but fair.
This is Informanté Live, and these are our top stories. The worrying trend of elderly people being attacked and murdered in their homes at coastal towns continues undebated, as an 80-year-old man was found murdered at his home in Swakopmund over the weekend after unknown suspects robbed him. The incident happened between Thursday, the 14th of October, and Friday, the 15th of October, at First Avenue in Veneta. It is reported that the elderly man, named Axel Lupfer, was found dead in his bedroom by his two friends who came to his residence after they were unable to reach him on his mobile phone. The deceased's body was found on the floor next to his bed with his hands and feet tied with shoelaces and his mouth stuffed with a piece of clothing. Volunteers from the National Youth Service will mend the fence around the Etosha National Park and help government save millions of dollars by cutting out costly private companies. Executive Director of the Ministry of Environment, Tourism and Forestry, Theophilus Ngitila, said about $2 million has been budgeted and will go towards acquiring materials as well as to give the volunteers an allowance. Ngitila, while visiting the site on Friday, said using private companies is expensive and that it would have cost the ministry $700,000 per kilometre and an estimated $500 million to complete the remaining 690 kilometres of fencing. And finally, preliminary findings of an assessment carried out following the 2012-2013 drought situation in Namibia estimates that over 330,000 people are food insecure, while over 447,000 people are moderately food insecure, and over 859,000 people are food secure. Food insecurity is said to be more prevalent in the northwestern regions, mainly due to prevailing chronic poverty and drought. Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Anna Shiweda, during the recent commemoration of World Food Day in Walvis Bay, said addressing hunger, malnutrition and poverty remains a high priority on the agenda of the government. Shiweda stated that government is implementing programs and projects to address food and nutrition insecurity as well as poverty. Your Trustco share price today, the 18th of October, stands at $2.33 per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 14 Namibia dollars and 70 cents, against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars, and against the British pound at 20 Namibia dollars and 20 cents. This is Informanté Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Informanté News. Informanté News. Informanté News. Informanté News. Firm but fair.
Was that sad or good news?
Nee, dit is wel 'n naweek.
It's been a rough weekend.
It's really been a rough weekend.
We've also seen it. I travelled down to Swakopmund over the weekend on Saturday morning. And
You did?
Yes.
Jou sleg.
Yes. And we also saw a couple of motor car accidents along the way, which happened previously. We had that big one here in Okahanja with a big lorry, and then also close to Swakopmund there was another car that overturned. And so, I guess it's because perhaps maybe, I don't know, curfew has been lifted. No?
Ja, nee. Be careful what you wish for.
It's not good. Yeah, they say they stop restricting movement.
Yes.
So there's no movement restrictions.
But
Around the clock now.
it could also be that although there's no, shall I say, more vehicles than on the road, that itself can cause more accidents.
True.
You know?
I would think it's just really. I mean, we speak about this all the time, but at the end of the day, it's just attitudes on the road.
Sure.
Yesterday, I was driving in the direction of Rehoboth, and it was a solid line. It was by a hill. The car was coming down. The car that wants to overtake, it's not like it wasn't visible. The person can clearly see that there's an oncoming vehicle. And even with that visibility, this guy decided to overtake because he was very impatient with the car in front.
Right.
And it was almost, we were a short distance, driving a short distance.
Okay.
It was almost a head-on collision.
That is incredible.
And he just managed, like at the very last managed to squeeze in. But it's stuff like that. If that had been an accident, it's clear that is just pure negligence.
Yes.
There's absolutely no excuse for it. I know he was frustrated because the car was a little bit but that wouldn't have been the first opportunity. To overtake. He could have waited for another opportunity because that was not an opportunity.
And then typically what I find also perhaps, and this is just what I think, the driver that is driving in that car that does that overtaking actually prides himself afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Sits there in the car, I've got another one done. I'm the big...
And it was worse because looking at it, we couldn't see who was driving, but we could see there were 3 passengers in the back seat.
Wow.
You could see little 3 figureheads.
Ooh.
So you just think if that had been an accident, you're potentially killing other people. And I would like to see the Namibian police, obviously in conjunction with the traffic, which is also part of the police, just become more strict, with the fines. And I think the reporting, we on the road should be able to, there should be a number that we can, at any given time, call, and they should register your number, your registration number, and I think after, if there are, say, 3 or 4 tips, they should just take away.
Do you know what license? I saw? What I saw in London, and this was already about 15 years back. There was a guy whose daughter got killed by a car accident of a driver that was on his cell phone at the time and ran over her. Yes. And what he did, he actually resigned from a top-notch job. And got himself onto a bicycle and put a dash cam on his head, right? And also a camera on his back, and then he would just drive around London with his bicycle. And if he would see another driver commit a what do you call it, a traffic violation, he would have that on camera. He would then drive to the driver, point his helmet to him so that there's a face recognition, and then just pull back and get a very good shot of the car registration number. And he'd be doing this for basically half the day, catching people out like that. And he would then go to the police station and register all these criminal cases.
Good.
He actually was then also funded by private donation, and he made it his full-on job. And obviously then, I mean, England the way it is, these cases are followed up and these people get found. And you've got the proof right there. There's nothing they can say about it.
Yeah.
Arrested, finishing clock.
That's how it should be.
So that's how it should be. Shall we look at the corona?
Yeah, let's see how the corona numbers look like since you people are almost now free again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Us people. Okay, the coronavirus cases, 128,328 registered cases, 123,880 have been recovered with 3,538 deaths. Active cases in Namibia at the moment is 910, with the daily new cases 24. That's okay.
Yeah.
And the daily deaths as of yesterday was 0.
Oh,
no?
Yeah.
So we'll
Jy
see.
maak my hart so bly, my broer. You know what? To hear that there are no deaths and we are well below 1,000 in terms of active cases, that means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just the weather. It's important that you now listen, Neville. East wind conditions with sandstorms over the southern and central coast areas today, subsiding on Tuesday, which is then tomorrow. Isolated showers and thunder showers. Expected over the Zambezi, Kavango, Otjizondjupa, Oshikoto, and Omaheke regions on Tuesday.
Okay.
So, and then for today, the interior partly cloudy and warm to hot, but very hot in the north. A fresh, strong easterly wind will persist in the interior. The coast partly cloudy and warm with sandstorms at times. Looking at the maximum temperatures for today, starting with Windhoek today, 29. Going into the north of the country, Omothia 37 with Ondangwa 38, Oshakati also 37. Then we're traveling to the coast in Walvis Bay today, 29 with Swakopmund 27 maximum temperatures. The central north areas in Ochi Varongo 35, and then we're going to Tsumeb with 36. The Zambezi region, where are we? Kotima Mulilo 34. Coming down to the east of the country in Gobabis, it is 28 with Karasburg. We are doing Karasburg 26. And Naminois, we have a cooler weather, 27, yes. 29, my apologies, I read something.
Dat is warm.
Dan sê ek Keetman so op 27 en Malta hier 28.
Kaufman, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Dankie, my broer.
Have a fantastic
Yeah,
day.
I hope.
Thank you.
I hope you'll do a better job tomorrow by not lying to us about the weather. Asseblief. Jy moet 'n lekker dag hê, Kalfie. Ja, Maria. Ja, skuif oor asseblief. Yeah. So while you get into position, I would just like to say good morning to everybody out there, to all of you, the Rose, the Zellies, Gladness Timothy, Benito Nati B, More Yela Almal. It's just a lot of good mornings. So, I think maybe just before we get into the discussion, I will not say maybe just at least 2 sporting results that is very, very, very key over the weekend is the score of Liverpool against Watford, 5-0. Yeah, Liverpool, Watford, 5-0. And that other team, yeah, who will remain nameless for now, yeah, met jealous a penalty taker who only score goals when it comes to penalties. Wag, laat Maria iets sê. Manchester United slaughtered by, how do I say that name? Leicester City, Leicester City beating Man United 4-2. Oh, I loved social media yesterday and the day before as to how the Liverpool and Man United supporters were each other's throats again. Kyk, ek wat mos nou as nie supporters Tuva, I stay out of these fights, I'm the better person here. Okay.
So it was it was a painful one. Yeah. So.
It's funny though that a lot of people are saying, you know what, the fact that Ronaldo came back to Man United, yes, he scored a brace against Newcastle, I think, on his debut. But everybody knew that, you know what, this is going to be a flash in the pan. He's not going to live up to the expectations.
The man is old.
Oh, no, is it old? No.
No, he's always been old. I mean, there are younger ones. I'm not saying he's not. I mean, yes, with age comes the experience. He is one of the best football players of our generation. But, sell by date. You can. Soccer players.
True.
Never sell by date. And unfortunately, the type of money we paid for somebody that is in retirement.
35, 36.
36.
Yeah.
So I mean, but also I think there is just too much expectation on him to carry their team. As for our weekend performance, that's what it is.
And Tuva, how was your weekend?
Yeah, the weekend was nice.
Yeah. You guys traveled?
No, we traveled during the week. Yeah. So no, it was just a weekend at home. Yeah, I think so. I'm actually lazy when I do nothing. So that's how lazy it was. I was like, but it was good. How was yours?
On Friday morning, I just came in to say goodbye to Q. He had another interview lined up. So I just came to say goodbye, and then I left for Swakop.
I was here on Friday as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but also I found him, he was doing Shalago's show.
Oh, okay.
He was with Shalago.
Yeah.
Content.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it feels weird without him. I mean, I love you, ma. It's not self.
Nee, Jaisal, cake. Even if this relationship is like a new boyfriend, and you are still longing for your ex-boyfriend, we will make this relationship
that's really not how it feels like. It feels like I had two husbands and one divorced me. Now I'm stuck with one. Maar ek het twee geniet.
Moenie worry nie toe van nie. Ons sal hom nama. Ons sal hom nama.
Ek soek 'n tweede man.
Jy sal jou tweede man hierdie week kry.
Asseblief, dis nie my man nie.
Jy sal jou man kry.
Is he joining our show?
Jy sal jou man kry. Obviously we're discussing and we will see how.
So there's a possibility of a third person coming in again. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my weekend was on Skenmos, how our wives work. I think on Thursday night, Mevrouw made it very, very clear that since she can't go to Swakopmund, that there must be you must be accompanied. Jy kan nie alleen ry nie.
By van wie nog gaan?
Ja, jy kan nie alleen ry nie. Ek sê nee, ek kan alleen ry. Ek is alright. Nee, maar I think your daughter, she has not seen her cousins.
I would also send with the daughter.
Yeah.
The daughter is the one that will make sure that nothing happens. Niet the boys kan nog hash money kry. So ek drop maar allemaal het planne. Waar gaan jy? Gaan jy daar? Wanneer sien ek jou? Môre, alright. Klaar jou daar. The doctor is.
No, so
you went with Ayanda?
Yeah, I went with Ayanda, but obviously she wanted to be with her cousins in Walfish Bay at Mevrouw's sister's house. So I dropped her off there, and I had my show on Friday afternoon, and then I went home.
What was the audience like? What show did you have? It's not a comedy show.
No, it was not a comedy show. It was basically just an event that I was hosting for a company. So, Saturday night, you know what? For a very long time, Tuva, you know what? I just love Swakopmund, but it's been windy and cold over the weekend.
Weather.
But I was really just indoors. I was really just chilling, and I think on Saturday evening I just went out. Me and my son. My son went with me.
Oh, all right.
And so we just went out for a takeaway, and then he went out on a date, and toe lê ek maar alleen by die huis. Pas myself by date.
Ja, is nie maklik nie.
Tyd is verby.
I told myself, I had a function on Friday with Fashion Council board members. We went to the rooftop. Here at 9 o'clock, I'm yawning.
Useless.
People are like, that's the curfew nie. I'm like, nee, that's not curfew tot 11 uur and then only after midnight. See, my days are here. Die mense sal nie mind. It's like, it's too young. So I was at home, like just before 9 actually. But I heard it was crazy. I think people, not that Namibians need an excuse to drink and party, but I think people really needed this. We need to remember it's the first time that curfew has been lifted.
In 2 years.
Since it was first introduced.
Yeah, in March last year.
So, hey.
So, and that's what I wanted us to quickly dissect this morning, and just to get everybody's feeling and opinion out there. Curfew has been lifted, okay? There are no curfews anymore. So, Oscar no Kabaza, the way we always did.
It's time to mend your broken relationships with your side chick.
Yes. Yeah, mend your broken relationship. Because, it was always an excuse. Nee, as curfew, ek kan nie kom nie.
Ek kan nie kom nie, curfew. Jy is 11 uur wees.
Nou is it oop nou.
No, it's oop.
So Tuva, I don't know, I think with the new regulations, I believe the president said, I think one of the two of the big regulations is gatherings that has been pushed up to 200.
Yes.
Okay, and that curfews have been lifted. It's now unlimited.
Yes.
What's your take on it?
Like, I get that we have to get to normal life. So I mean, I'm not opposed to it because curfew was there to serve a purpose. And that purpose has been served. Cases are going down, infections are going down, deaths are going down. So of course, you have to constantly look at the situation and make the regulations or the rules as you go along. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm all about returning back to normal life as far as normal can be. So I mean, I think it was, as much as I think that Namibians can be irresponsible, I think it's a good move on the president. Just looking at the statistics, there's really absolutely no point
in keeping the status quo.
Yes, to keep the status quo in light of the statistics, right? You have to be guided by the statistics. Now, I think equally was smart to maintain the alcohol, the limits on the alcohol the way they are. So that hasn't changed. Yeah. So you can stay out until 2, 3. If you are perched, drink some water, baby.
Okay, Matuva, jy ken
alcohol word nie tot 3 uur, 4 uur, 12 uur verkoop.
But like you rightfully said the other day, I think you made the example of a restaurant here where people make sure that they buy their alcohol way before.
Well, then you have to have 4 or 5 bottles. Not everybody can afford 4 or 5 bottles. Some people can just afford by the glass. As what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or go drink at home.
Yeah, or go drink at home.
Or go drink at home. Now you can have your braais and your after parties.
Yes.
Or go drink at home. I still just feel like that's a more responsible way than having people in the club until 3, 4 drinking, you know? Like the drinking, the sale of alcohol, there's a cutoff. So if club owners, I know the club owners in today's paper, one of the papers, they're against it. They're saying that, you know, they need to make money, but the problem is the type of business that is not encouraged. Selling alcohol until ungodly hours is just not encouraged. So I think good call on the president. We do need to try and get back to normal life. And I think Namibians need to be given an opportunity to adjust their minds. Like, okay, you have all these liberties now, but everybody still has a personal responsibility. So let's see how it goes. And again, look, any of these things can be assessed at any time. The president can call in a briefing tomorrow and say, it was a 30-day, maar ek het nou besluit ons amend weer. No, more. So, if you like your freedom comes with responsibilities. Let us all just be responsible. But good call on the president.
I do think that since this new regulations will be lasting until the 12th of November, I believe, this is a good testing period for the president to see how responsible we as Namibians
going into the December.
Yeah. So he can change the regulation again on the 13th of November.
Yeah, until the 13th of December.
Daar sê.
Dan weet julle, daar Kersfees as julle nie weer behave nie.
Ja.
Kersfees from the 14th of December, mid-month December.
Yeah.
Julle se Kersfees kan julle vergeet.
If I have to, and obviously my son didn't agree with me yesterday when we had this discussion, because he came home about 1, because we were together at home in Swakop, and he came home around 1 o'clock because he went out on a date or something. And so we had this discussion yesterday morning as we drove to Walfish Bay to go and pick up Ayanda. And I said, Ghana, you know what? If I have it my way as a father, the fact that I could have you guys by myself for me was tops.
Where was the other son? Which son did you go with? The younger one?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
No.
the older one.
Yeah, the older one.
Yeah.
So I said to him, you know what? I would have preferred for regulations to that curfew should be at least until 12 o'clock. To keep the regulation to say 12 o'clock. Gaan dans julle so goed en wat, but be home by 12 o'clock. And then obviously he threw the club thing at me. No, but Daddy, it doesn't work like that. No, we as young people, I said, yeah, you know, and I do understand.
Yeah.
I do understand because you know what, they need to have their lives too. But selfishly, I would have.
Yeah, selfishly, you want to
preferred-
be the president and say, hey, kijk, my kinders was nice.
Yeah.
They were home at the, keep it, but yeah, we also live that life. Sometimes I look at like countries like Angola. So Angolans, the club life there, people start partying from 12. Like, niemand is in the club in 4:12.
Huh?
No, nobody does it. It's even when I go to Angola and I'm still getting dressed and they're like, what makje? I'm like, it's a club too. And they're like,
No.
nobody goes to the club before. It's just, you can be there, but like, it's an empty club. Just, most people just start coming after midnight. So some people just start, they usually have their, they're very big on family and friends and cousins and whatever. So you find that, let's say on a Friday, they have something at home, music, spiel, and the whole family until, let's say, 10 o'clock. And then from 10, people start going to shower and start getting dressed to prepare now to go out. And and then 12 o'clock is when they are driving out of the house. No, yeah. They get to the club but hulle kom by die club 1 uur, by hulle stap daar uit die club at 8 uur. 7, 8, if you don't have work. 7, 8.
Ons moet kerk toe gaan.
Nee, was so. En dan die kerk begin mos nou 11. Dis wat kerk toe gaan nie jol toe. Trust me. So but that's the culture. So you can't, for example, put that type of curfew on.
What's the regulation in Angola at the moment? Do you have any idea?
Right now, I don't know. But the last I checked, they're done away with regulations, like strict regulations. Yeah, because they said their cases were going down. But I think it should be interesting to see, just especially because of I'm always interested to see. You see, okay, what I was saying is a lot of us, we still take our guidelines from WHO.
Yeah.
Right. But I think more than that, I think as Namibians, we need to start studying, infection, like start understanding the makeup of our country, because it's a unique footprint. It's not like there can't be one rule for everything. So I don't know, and we then should, based on that, make better decisions. For example, we look at informal settlements. That means a blessam.
Yeah, a blessam.
Yeah, but the infections there are not necessarily higher than in a dorp. You know what I mean? Where people are a little bit more living apart. So go study how. You know? Those people are van Ashabin tot de ander Shabin. Wie het 'n masker? Niemand.
Exactly.
But we don't necessarily see super spreading happening there.
Yeah.
So what's going on? And and the vaccination rate is also low in informal settlements.
Yeah, it's very low.
You know? So wat gaan aan? Ons moet 'n bietjie, I want to understand. So I look at countries like Angola, where it's all about togetherness. Really, Raymond says altyd saam. They're all about family, they are together. I mean, hello say. And in informal settlement, they're living on top of each other. It's like poverty there is like, if you're poor, you're really poor in Angola. But we're not seeing necessarily a crazy spike in cases. So, ek wil net hierdie COVID ding verstaan, want ek verstaan nie hierdie COVID ding. But I feel like it's important for this government to try and understand that.
Yeah.
So, laat ons kyk.
Let me read a few comments here. Just to say good morning to Muhausi Boli. Good morning, beautiful people. Benito Nati B. Rest in peace, Men United. Lin Liu, if you want to be truthful, go and look at Stu Peters. What the hell is this? I don't know what that is all about.
Estomish Klar, she tagged Cubase Namibia. It says, come here, comments are being ignored. Cubase doesn't work here anymore.
Ja, jy kan net hy naam uitlos.
Ja.
Jy sien hierso nie.
Wat sal hy maak? Wat sal hy maak? Yeah.
Braji Contep, and I prepared fish just to get a call from Neville on Friday, since I don't have his number. But I suppose Cubase didn't give you. No, Cubase het nie jou nommer vir my gegee nie, my broer, Braji.
And then Ethel says, drinking doesn't feel right now. Mens raak nie dronk nie. Is waar.
Trinin Glovo, Bafo, Neville, that clip you played the other day of Dave Chappelle made me watch his last special, The Closer, with context. I fully appreciate his point of view and the honesty and vulnerability therein. This cancel culture is really something and need be moderated. And how is the difficult part?
Ons sal vir julle cancel.
I hear you. Braji Contep, now I know that some people don't really keep true to their own word. Anyways, this is life. Oskap.
Alfredo says, morning Nev and Maria. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Cubase is my favorite Herrero. I miss that Herrero like kapana without the spice, like donut without jam, like a bar without Windhoek drought, like a gym without weights. Right.
Yeah. Ons het almal withdrawal symptoms.
And Joel seems to have withdrawal symptoms. He says, long time guys have been missing the show for months. Now due to time, hello my beautiful people. Where is Q? Joel Nambuli. Joel Cubase has officially left the show.
Yeah. Estomish, I see. You responded to Trini's post. You say you enjoyed it too, and happy Netflix has his back. He's a smart, caring man. Tangeni, with a capital T, Nande. Can we please get Cubase in as our celebrity guest for tomorrow? We want to know what's going on with him. Say julle jippe, hy sal hier so kom nie. Ja, bel hom, is klaar, is verby, is klaar. That's Fudala, yeah. Ethel Koningsdogter, if you say drinking doesn't feel right. Oh, okay, yeah, you read that. Yeah, we will not read your comments from now on, Estomis. It's klaar, is verby. Joel Nambuli, long time guys. Oh yeah, that's the comment that you read, eh? Yeah, so yeah, that is basically, as we say, in terms of the regulations, that is what's been happening. So let's see, I think in the next few weeks, how Namibians will be behaving themselves. And I think on evidence of that, the president will then decide what is the way forward. But I would really urge us, guys, let's keep it together. I think on Saturday night, even last night, I checked, the streets were relatively deserted. But my one challenge that I have, Tuva, is my fear of crime, burglaries, break-ins will increase from here henceforward. Because die tsotsis was seker they must stay home. Miskien het hulle hierdie dag ingebreek. But you have a situation now where anybody and everybody can be on the street from here on forward. So it could just happen that break-ins just might increase. I saw some disturbing videos last week of a guy at Virgin Active in the car park.
No, they're becoming more and more bold. I tell you,
they're becoming more and more bold.
I tell you, it's yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but the video is a man walking. It looks like he's going to his car. And he's carrying a backpack.
Yeah.
And a plastic bag.
Yeah.
And this car in the parking lot, by the way, just comes and he stops because he's thinking the car wants to go by so that he can cross. And two guys jump out. One has a panga. And there's this whole, how do you call it? Not a squabble.
Yeah, but they were wrestling.
Like a shuffle, what you want to call it. For his items. I think the plastic bag broke, so they didn't manage. And I think the backpack at some point also. Yeah. But they got away with something. But the guy, obviously, because they hit him with a panga. But it's in broad daylight. It's in a parking lot. By the way, not the first floor.
Yeah.
This is second. So how bold are you? Because you still have to put in that ticket to exit. You get a ticket to enter and a ticket to exit. Obviously, within that 15 minutes, you don't have to pay, so you can still exit it. But I think that also forces the malls to change their boxing system. That means if somebody gets a ticket, even within 15 minutes, they have to stop and slot it into the machine, even if they pay nothing. It has to go through that pay machine, and then only can you exit. It should not be accepted within the first 15 minutes, because that's what they do. They just come in with a ticket and get a target, and then they drive out, quickly put it in, and they can rush out. If they can do better with that, it won't be so easy. But thieves are becoming
brazen.
Very, very, very brazen, and it's scary. And how many times have we neglected? Like, you coming out of your car, just net up your phone, because you're thinking it's a parking lot.
Of course.
Who's going to do anything?
Yeah. I mean, I checked last week. A friend of mine, what's his name? Oosthuizen. He used to be the owner of Office Economics.
Yeah.
They followed him last week, and as he tried to unload cash from his boot, it's almost like they knew exactly what he was doing, because it looked like they really timed him. They jumped out of the car, very military-like, slashed his tires. Two of the guys were busy slashing his tires so that he cannot give chase once they rob him. And the other two guys grabbed his bag. There was about $15,000 in his bag. And then they went off. He took out his gun and he started shooting at them. Yeah. But obviously he knew, I can't shoot these guys in the back because I will go to jail. So he fired some shots in the ground, and then he tried to get into his car.
I don't think you go to jail for that, though. I mean, there will be a murder case against you, but most likely you won't go to court. A PG will look at the circumstances.
True.
Self-defense.
Yeah, true. Yeah. True. And I think it's just maybe you don't want it on your conscience. Your conscience that you killed someone.
But I mean, I welcome people being killed like that.
I know.
I say this sincerely.
Yes.
And we, like about less than a month ago, had a story of an elderly man
in Swakopmund.
It was Swakopmund. In Swakopmund, where 3 robbers came into his house, and one of them ended up dead.
Yeah.
Because when he went to go check and these guys were there, he fired.
Yeah.
And they dropped, when the police arrived, they found like a panga and a kitchen knife or something on the floor.
Yeah.
So these guys it was him and his wife or them. Most likely with elderly people, it's usually them. They're the ones that definitely suffer in this. So I remember thinking, this is a lifetime hero. I mean, it sounds cruel to say.
But there's nothing cruel about that.
When you go...
Sorry.
into somebody's house, especially the elderly, with the intention. I mean, Hannes was here reading the news just this weekend. We lost an elderly person, an 80-year-old in his home. They stole his car and his safe. And his flat screen TV. All that for a life. I mean, the car was eventually left abandoned near the DRC. But is that worth a life? That's iman sa pa, iman sa opa. Like, come on, guys. Some flippant compassion. Like, why you break? I mean, it's like, why am I talking to thieves? Thieves don't listen. They don't care.
No, they
don't. They don't care. So for me, if you can kill them, kill them.
Yeah,
one less on the street.
Yeah.
As goed for ons.
Yeah. I always and Chris always have this theory that if 5 of them comes through your door, skiet net die ene.
Yeah.
As jy die ene geskiet het, because they are not there for a fight.
Yeah.
Because they think you are vulnerable.
They think you're unprepared.
You are unprepared.
Yeah.
So skiet net die een, maak klaar. Then the 4 of them will run. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So as long as you can at least just wound of man, skiet die ding dood en kry klaar.
Yeah.
Finish and klaar. I have. Oh, it was Henty's Bay. Helvi, Aisha, Gianni says it was in Henty's. Okay, it was in Henty's Bay.
I remember the story being in Henty's. Yeah.
Okay. Teshon, I am so happy to have you back on the stream.
Oh, I didn't. Was he gone?
No. I need to tell you this story.
Yeah.
Okay, since you were not here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, on the day, on Thursday, with the vaccination clinic.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we are about to leave the studio to take the stream outside so that people can see what is actually going on here with the vaccination clinic. So, Monique Bubbles walks into the studio. Monique thinks that the stream has been cut.
Yeah.
So Cubase sits here. I'm standing there. So Monique comes just around here, and she kisses Cubase on the head.
Yeah.
And, we make
Monique,
the idle chat. Toe begin die mense praat op die stream.
Yeah.
It's a Teshon. Laat jy hierdie goede toe. It's a Teshon, jy kan mos nie. It's a Teshon. Wat gaan dan daar so Teshon? Teshon. And then Teshon just went quiet.
What is Teshon and Monique?
Nee, as die vraag wat ons wil vra. So as we were reading the comments here, Monique, very embarrassed, leaves the studio. Nou staan sy hierso. But you can see us reading the comments. But all comments just focused on Teshon, hoe sal jy maak?
Losie.
Losie, hoe kan jy toelaat? So Tuva, I don't know. Maybe there are some people, or you yourself, Teshon, can give us clarity here in the studio.
Yeah, no.
As to what is going on,
So let's read some comments about the attacks.
Please.
Says, they are sick and stupid to attack in a place with cameras. They should get many years. That man was brave to fight back. How can people defend themselves from his panga? And then Stefanus Anania says, have you guys heard of the Dronklap government employees wat Dipolo afgeskreven? Nee, ek het nie. Alfredo says, my friend, break and maze and threaten the safety of my family. I will put you down. 2 shots to the legs and 1 on the matako just to be petty. It said that in Namibia you go to jail for shooting a robber breaking into your house, but criminals get bail. You don't, actually that's not true. You don't really go to jail. A lot of times a case has to be registered if it's attempted murder. If it's murder, it has to be. That's procedure.
It has to be that's
but
procedure.
Then that information is sent to the PG's office, who then has to look at the information and then decide if you're going to get prosecuted or not. If you're going to get prosecuted, yes, you might be arrested or go to court. Sometimes not even arrested, you just have to appear in court and then start the trial or whatever, plead and whatever. But in most cases, if it's a clear self-defense, the prosecutor decides not to prosecute, in which case you are free. You're not even going to have like a criminal conviction. So it's not true that if especially if it's in self-defense. I mean, if it's in your house, that's clear self-defense.
I agree.
So
Braji Contep, Everything after lockdown is still so abnormal. One has to look around for police vehicles after a good drinking spree, trying to go back home. Mind is still stuck with hide and seek playoffs. What a comedy we experienced. Yeah, true.
Claudia says, I agree with you. I have no sympathy for these guys. And it's true, we're having this discussion. Some people say, yeah, but you guys, you have to remember that criminals didn't choose this life. And I'm like, please, just shut up. Because at the end of the day, I know a lot of people that have grown up in poverty. A lot. In this country, everybody knows people that are poor. In fact, we have poor people in our own families if we ourselves are not poor. All right? And let me tell you, it does. Poverty is not synonymous with crime. You can grow up poor and still not choose to rob and kill and attack people. So that is a choice you make, poor or rich. To go and attack and kill people, to break into people's houses. That is not synonymous with poverty. Of course, there's heightened risks of crime with poverty because people are trying to feed, but that's still not a justification to go and kill people or to go rob people. It's absolutely not a justification. So,
Kyk, a few months ago, I stopped here at City View. I quickly ran upstairs at a unit there. I was probably in there for less than 5 minutes. I came back, and my rear view mirror on the driver's side was stolen. Okay, so I'm not justifying petty theft. Okay, but you know what? The lesser evil, if somebody would rather do that than to come and attack me, vat nou maar net dan gaan jy. Maar you know what? To actually wait for me with a knife or panga, attack me, or my children, etc., etc. My broer, kyk, that one doesn't work for me. So petty theft, I know the guys back then, I don't know if people are still doing the Volkswagen Polo badges that they steal from cars.
It's still happening.
It's probably still happening. You know what? And I don't know where they are selling it. You know, but you know what? If you're going to be threatening somebody's life out there, dan moet jy maar jou goede kry. Tayshaun, stay home to avoid tsotsis and being cheated on.
But they're coming into your house.
Yeah. They're coming into your house.
Coming into your house. You're saying, let me stay out of their way. Let me stay home. They are breaking into houses. You're not even safe in your own house anymore.
Tayshaun, if you are home, the tsotsis will not break in. Hello, break in. And the side guy will not have to dollar your person. Yes. Jy is ook mal in jou kop. Rovera says stay home. Stay home. Of course, I mean, as we say, we all want to stay home. Because we do consider home as that's your sanctuary. That's the place you feel safe at. But then again, hulle kom in. Diam Chim Sizzle says, I hate thieves. My V-Dubs badge, I see, was stolen on Friday. Ek was so nar when I found out Saturday morning. Imagine I just went in the social for 15 minutes, then home. I even saw the guy standing while in the parking. When going in, just made sure the car locked. So there are little commodities around your car that they can also take, very, very brazen.
And you'll see the car guy is saying, moet ek je car check? Nee, check je car, my bra. You go in for 5 minutes, they come terug. Your mirror is stolen and the guy is still running back to you to go get his money. My car is, it's as gesteel. What am I still paying you for? You're supposed to watch it. So they don't even watch your car.
And you know what? They make you feel guilty as you need for a R2 of a R5 here or whatever. Because
the thing is, sometimes they are far across. That guy will run.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were like 20 cars away, I know you are not checking my car, please.
Yeah. Yeah, so guys, I think what is important here is to safeguard your family, safeguard yourself. Windhoek is becoming bigger and bigger. That's just how it is. I think by the time Egg and Jay is Kuku and Madala...
I'm contemplating getting a gun.
Laat jy wat maak met 'n gun?
I really am. Because I think the past, I would say 6 months, it's been a while. I've just been having a lot of anxiety about the house being broken into. I don't know why. There's cameras, there's security and everything.
They worry.
But I just have anxiety about it. So, I'll get a gun and then I'll go for target shooting classes.
It's a hoor julle hierdie vrou.
No, I really...
Hoor julle hierdie vrou. Hoor wat hierdie vrou sê.
I will really contemplate. I'll really contemplate. Sien as 'n manier.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't...
Look, at the end of the day, like if people come in there with pangas and what are we going to do? And a lot of times they don't care. They don't care. Like, it would be something else if they just tie you up and they still... The problem is they're hitting you to get information out. And sometimes you're telling them that's naksi. Was is safe? That is not safe. Two. They hit you. And then they leave you for dead. Worst case, they rape you if you're a woman. You know? So, I'm just like... Yeah. Sekerai guns ala biki. It will come in handy.
Okay, Tuva. Okay, I confess 3 weeks later after our discussion. Okay, get the pit bulls. Yeah.
The pit bulls, we still have to wait for them to grow up.
Doris says, Ami Uririnu, if those people break into my home and the dogs get them, I'll go back to sleep. Laat hy pit bulls vir hom maar eet. Will I go to jail if that happen? I don't think, no. If your dogs get a hold of someone in your yard, go to sleep.
The only problem is you might have to put it down afterwards because a pit bull wants to taste blood like that. Yeah.
Helvi Aisha Gianne says they have a way through the security system. Yes, I do. Yeah,
that's why you must just get a gun.
Sometimes I wonder if they don't have contacts with security guys. That is very likely in a lot of cases.
A lot of times they do.
Von Lekkerte Mashonisa expect a high crime rate after the restrictions have been lifted. True, I do think that's a high possibility. We will have to see.
Yeah, Mahal says, that's me and Mira. Even with my alarm on, I am so edgy that it interrupts my sleep.
Yeah.
I have been looking at options to... No, really, I'm just ex-slappy lekkery.
Nee?
I can't... I'm always so anxious. If a small thing moves, if the dog barks a little bit, as I'm always on anxiety. So, maybe a gun will not help me sleep better, but at least I'll feel that I can protect myself to some degree.
You know what, Maria? And I guess all of us as people, you can choose what kind of lifestyle you want to have and where you want to live. I remember years ago, before we moved to Elisenheim, it's one of the things that I told Mevrou when we stayed in a townhouse. I said to her, listen, I will not, because obviously the townhouse is becoming smaller because the kids are getting bigger.
Yeah.
And I said to her, and she says, no, my man, kom ons koop net 'n huis in Hoogland Park of Pionierspark or what. I said, I'm not going to do that. Because I travel a lot with events and with business, and I will never be able to rest with you and the kids being
in
home.
In a freestanding house, yeah.
In a freestanding house.
Yeah.
And
the estate gives you some safety.
Yeah, and I said to her, I'd rather wait for a development where which is affordable, where I can drive into a boom gate with freestanding homes, where I know there's a certain leverage of safety. I remember when I saw this advert of Elisenheim many years ago. It's probably 2009, 2010. I remember it was a Tuesday afternoon. Ek het van die bank af opgespring. I think we were reading this property news. Ek sê, hey, mevrou, check hierso. There's a development that looks like it's just for, what would suit our lifestyle. And we drove down there. And Elisenheim for me is exactly what I pictured where I want to live, where I want to raise my children, and where I can feel that I'm safe. I mean, mevrou, she's been basically home alone over the weekend.
No. An estate, whether it's Omea, whether it's Finkenstein, whether it's Elisenheim. I mean, ultimately you have to go through a security gate.
You have to.
And you can't, it's nie ekspring nie. I mean, there's vast land. It's not, I mean, you find some estates, they give you a bulletin every week.
Yeah.
And every week you see as zero house break-ins, house breaks.
Yeah.
Remember when I was staying at Finkenstein?
Yeah.
The first and only house break to be broken seems it was real targeted. They wanted to get to a guy's computer.
Kyk nou net daar.
Because it's when he put out that 100,000 for whoever came. Remember that story?
I remember.
Where a guy put out it was a lot of money, reward for getting his computer back, because clearly there was something in there. So it looks like this was very planned. Thieves, when they specifically must have been hired to specifically go, because they didn't steal anything else. They just stole the guy's laptop. And this laptop was clearly worth, or the information on it was worth hundreds of dollars, because the reward money was crazy. And that was the only house breaking. But otherwise, and it was obviously well concocted, because to even get access to the estate.
Now, my sister stays in Rocky Crest. And she,
and the crime there is very high. House breaking is
and she works for the city of Windhoek. So she gets first-hand news as to the crime bulletin, what happens, the number of call-outs from security companies, etc. It is extremely high.
Yes.
So I don't know, Tuva, with you guys, living in, freestanding homes, I can imagine what it feels like, going to sleep at night with the security systems on, etc., and you don't know, is it my beard vanand?
Yeah, two weeks ago, I'm driving home, and I'm speaking to my friend on the car speaker, and as I turn, I see this guy jogging down, and he's holding a bag, and I look further up, and the neighbor across us is a white woman, and she's like pointing, so. The guy ran past me. I'm like, now I don't know now. I've already turned, so the traffic is coming. I'm trying to also point, because I can see now there's something that happened. I'm trying to show the cars, stop, but nobody really understands what's going on. So shortly after, I see the old man, the woman's father, driving out. And he went, and then he stopped by me, and I said, and I just showed what direction he went into. I'm like, no, he went that direction. And then I drive up, and I go into the house, and I lock the gate, and now the woman comes, and then I said, what happened? Because she came out. Next to their house is a church. So the guy jumped the church fence. There's a part of their house where there's no barbed wire. The guy got in. Apparently, the woman's father was in the kitchen. She was upstairs playing guitar, practicing, because I think she plays guitar in the church.
Yeah.
And she heard something, and she dropped her guitar, and she came to the room, and she found the guy there. This is broad daylight. I'm telling you, I'm driving home just around 5. And the guy says to her, don't scream, otherwise I'm going to hurt you. So she obviously screams, and the guy still had the audacity to grab her handbag and her phone, tries to run out. She grabs a broom. She hits him on the back, but he managed to escape. And this is the guy that ran past me. And they never caught him, because once you go to the riverbed,
it's klaar.
But I thought 5 o'clock, this guy jumped a fence to get into your house. He doesn't care that there are people in the house. It's just, people are just brazen.
Thieves
are
brazen.
very brazen. So Ish, but I was already feeling anxious, and that just kind of even elevated my anxiety to the next level. And it didn't happen to us, but it's just, oh yeah. And Rihanna says they broke in once. Since then, something in me changed. They took that element of safety from us. Constant sleepless nights, and I can believe that. It's like your home is supposed to be the safest place, and once that space has been violated, I don't think you can really get back to normal life.
True. Sino Kambikiti says, Maria, you will be surprised if you attend the funeral of the guy who was killed in Henties. The way they will be reading his biography, our humble, good-hearted, loving person, honest, and all that. Estomish says, guns are tricky. Check your bro, Pretorius. Imagine being killed with your own gun. Vanessa Guibeb says, your safety being violated is a traumatic experience. We shouldn't minimize or normalize it. They broke in once. Yeah, you read that. Kini says, Maria, you contemplate. Here, it's now a must to have. But you better be up to the T with regulations regarding use. It gives you a sense of comfort, but no protection from the haranguing that ensues from the law.
No, I mean, I'm going to get it. Obviously, I'm going to get a legal.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a license.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a gun license.
Yeah.
And I plan to get trained on how to use it. I mean, I can fire a gun, but I mean, all the safety, how to, put on the safety, how to, I would like to get to know how to use my gun. I feel like there's somewhere I can put it where I can clearly, if I hear a noise, that I can quickly access it. But yeah, that's honestly something I'm not even joking. I'm really contemplating it. Yeah.
Ek sal maar eers daar bly waar ek bly.
Yeah, no, you guys don't have to. But when you stand, like you say, when you stand in freestanding houses, even with all the safety like electrical fence and cameras and alarm, that means a worry.
But I must say, you know what? Years back, they tried a lot. So at night because they would try to break through the fence, on the boundaries. But our security would be there in like seconds, and you would hear shots being fired. So I think these guys, they tried for a while, but they clearly saw that no, you know what, this is maklik. So they have been trying, but and we have a strict policy when taxis are coming in there. We give you 10 minutes. Then you need to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing more than 10 minutes. Alfredo Ramapankan says, I urge everyone, especially women, to get some form of self-defense weapon to use just in case. Have you guys heard of the burner? It's a non-lethal... Hey, my broer. The burner, it's a non-lethal gun with bullets that don't penetrate the skin, but it hurts like hell, like rubber bullet guns. I saw this burner. And you need to check that out. Go to Marua Mall. Go to Marua Mall. First, just check out the burner. Just check the demonstration video. And it's actually...
Where in Marua Mall?
Marua Mall.
I said, where in Marua Mall? Marua Mall is a yellow mall. Go to Marua Mall. Now I'm in Marua Mall. Okay, now what next?
Marua Mall is clean, man.
Where?
Right in front of Mr. Price. Right in front of Mr. Price.
Home or...
No, not home...
Or the clear. Okay, there's a gun shop there?
There's a gun shop just across.
Yes, I saw it. There's a jewelry shop and then there's a gun shop.
Go there. You can go and check out this burner.
No, I'll go study my options.
Yeah, go study your options.
I'll go talk to my man and then I'll go study my options. Yeah.
Because that thing, what I've seen, if you shoot somebody with that thing, and that thing, it releases a residue, a kind of powder that makes whoever you shoot, it makes that person sick to the stomach. But go check it out. I would, in fact, that's actually something that I would like to buy for myself, just for safekeeping. Estomish, true. Both men and women are being attacked. Yeah, that's just what it is.
Imagine having your elderly parents at one of these coastal towns. Is erg, Yella. Is erg.
And if they're not staying in a senior park.
Yeah. And most of them don't want to, because what happens with a lot of these elderly couples, they save up enough, they work long and save up for their retirement. And then they said, you know what, we just want to retire to the coast. It's relatively safe. We can walk to the beach, have more of a calm life. And then they invest in a good piece of property there.
Yeah.
And then that happens.
Yeah. Guys, so safeguard yourself. And I think our safety, especially now that the regulations have changed, it's important that you need to safeguard yourself and safeguard your families out there. Yeah. Kom ons kyk 'n bietjie what has been happening in the news all over the country. Hey, I see in one of the dailies here, I think once again our Secretary General from the party, Meme Shaningwa, she's been under the pump lately. I think after her comments about the think tank. But then again, I see here the headline says SWAPO scrambles for much needed unity. In its quest to return to its former glory days in the country's political arena, the SWAPO party has embarked on a frantic unity crusade. The party Secretary General Sophia Shaningwa over the weekend during the opening of the think tank's workshop said the party was facing a disturbing trend with voters punishing the former liberation movement at the polls last time around. Shaningwa currently holds the unenviable or unenviable record as the Secretary General under whom the party performed the worst at the polls since independence. For the first time since President Hage Geingob Slate dubbed the Harambee faction took control of the party, Shaningwa has admitted that there is a need to unite in order to save the party. According to Shaningwa, the think tank should desist from delivering paper... Desist. Not desist.
No.
Is it desist?
Desist.
Kurwanji. From delivering paper deliverables or vocabulary contestations, but relevant strategies that should change... Strategies that should change the fortunes of the party. It's strategies, man. It's strategy. Yeah, it's it's been an ongoing battle, I think, within the party. And then again over the weekend, when I was in Swakop and in Walfish Bay, a lot of people, once again, who knows that I am very much apolitical, can always take the time to poke fun about politics with me over the weekend at the coast. And a lot of people were saying, a lot of these people from the coast, die party sal nie nou. Die party sal nie nou die kus terugkry nie. Die Rongo region is weg, is klaar. So I don't know, it's going to take a while for the party to really making some inroads again into the hearts of the voters at the coast. All thanks to Fishrod. All thanks to Fishrod. Estomich says it's like this Norwegian Danish guy who targeted old people, shooting them with bow and arrow in town daytime, no sweat. He was just hunting people. Managed to kill 5. Yeah, Estomich, I saw that in the Namibian on Friday. It seems like in these Scandinavian countries, like every 5 or 10 years, just somebody loco comes out and just do something that gets the country into the news, and that is hoe dit gaan. Yeah.
Speaking of other, is that article of Prince Harry in the paper?
Mm-mm. Not that I see it. What's going on?
No, so Prince Harry has spoken out against the drilling that's happening in the Kavango Delta. Yeah, the message is not bad. I guess it's who is saying it that is bad. Because I think I've been reading a lot of the comments, and a lot of Namibians are just like, hey, play 8 ons goed 8 VSJ. VSJ. Why should we listen to a prince when we also have our own kings and queens and princess and prince? So, yeah, that's I think, and I think Toya Chekara has also spoken out about it, saying, about just people meddling into affairs, affairs that don't concern them.
That is the oil exploration that is happening in the Kavango Delta at the moment.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, there's been quite a lot of controversy, it seems, around that, I guess, on both sides.
Yeah. It's a Canadian company.
What's the name of the Canadian company
I
again?
forgot. It's a Canadian company. They're obviously in the Kavango Delta. I mean, there are people that are supporting, there are people that... I personally hope we never find oil in this country.
Yeah,
I don't know why Namibia thinks, like sometimes I listen to ministers or these leaders, how it will grow our economy and it will be so beneficial. But I don't know why we think we are special. Because if you look at all other African countries with oil, all of them are unstable in some sense or another. They're all unstable. So, who come deng jele special?
Yeah, Recon.
Yeah, Recon. Yeah.
Sure. Maria, I will have to agree with you there, because you know what, and it's one of the things that we've seen over the last 50 years, how African leaders have been captured by European governments who make sure that we keep you there for those natural resources of oil, diamonds, gold, etc. So a lot of times, and I know we had this discussion, and we said a lot of times in the past people would ask, why do African leaders stay in power for such a long time? And we would always say it's the natural resources that keeps them there.
Absolutely.
Because they are being kept and they are being funded by European governments who make sure you are being controlled from Belgium, you are being controlled from France, you are being controlled from wherever. And they make sure that they keep that specific African leader in power. In face value, it's not a bad idea for us to discover such a natural resource, but then again, what that can create from here going forward is not something that I don't think that we as Namibians are prepared for, because who's going to claim that area?
Yep.
Die Kawangos gaan sê as ons olie is klaar. And then who? Wat soek julle wambos hierso? And the heroes will say this.
Yeah, and it's always foreign companies that are doing the drilling. So we're not gonna. It's not gonna be natural resources that in any event really belong to us if we are keeping it 100. So so is it.
Sonny Rehan question: all world superpowers, American Army, Afghanistan, winner 20 years. Okay. Yeah, that's what you say. Rovera, Tatiana, and Coca-Cola, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Recon Africa. Estomish, eating before big match is a no-no. Yeah. Asino Kambikiti. Did you guys check out the guy who was beaten until he vomited in the technical knockout MTC boxing over the week?
No, I get it.
Yeah, I caught some glimpses of the fight. Of the fights, I didn't see that particular one. I saw the fight of Anthony Jarman, where he got knocked out, and it's always a tournament that I if I have the opportunity in Windhoek, that I always go and watch. Mohausi Boli, it's the elite that know they will have their hands in the pot that pray for oil to be found in Namibia. Moenie met stories begin nie. Yeah. It would be beneficial only if we have leaders that have the Namibian citizens' interest at heart. Janice Tobias says, we are not prepared for oil. We were already botched by fish. Oil will finish us.
No, oil will finish us. That's
yeah, that is quite a challenge. It's very much of a catch-22. Emily Magorges Kashop says, unfortunately, the oil will bring more negatives than positives to the people who really rely on the river. Watch the documentaries of Nigeria and Ghana regarding oil promises. It ends in tears. Yeah, I think the exploration per se, I know when Recon started drilling up there, and a lot of people, I think some of the community leaders were complaining what this can do to the ecosystem out there, the toxins that it can release, etc., etc. So we'll see what happens. Hey Richard, hey Line J and Maria. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Khan J and Maria. Line. Yeah. Never let a spelling uitspraak probleem. Yeah, so that's basically what? Sonny Rehan. I am Pakistan. Okay. So what else would you like to, what? Are you Pashtun or what? So what else would you like to share with us all the way from Pakistan? Are you talking to us from Pakistan, or are you a Pakistani living in Namibia? Please share that information with us. That would really be interesting. Emily McGorges is asking, but now what? Yeah, now what? Yeah. So what? In some other news, we're at the doorstep again of the jabs. The headline says mandatory jabs, not a punishment. That is now what Kapofi says.
Oh yeah, about the defense.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering, I saw we did a story on it a week ago, and they're asking what rules that the NDF used to make vaccination mandatory. And in the NDF policy, there is an act that says that soldiers shall be, when necessary, vaccinated.
Yeah.
So it's already in their policy. They just had to enforce it.
Yeah.
It's not something that they had to introduce. It's there in black and white. There was, if you guys follow our stories, there was somebody explaining this. I mean, if you're not clear, I can find the story. But yes, the NDF's guidelines makes provision for mandatory vaccination.
Amid rumblings from several groups opposing the mandatory vaccination of soldiers, Defense Minister Kapofi said the directive is not a punishment but to look after the welfare of the troops. When asked whether that constituted a violation of fundamental human rights, Kapofi stated, "It is not about the rights of the soldiers but more on their health and that of others." Soldiers have allegedly started an online petition to stop the mandatory vaccination. Mandatory vaccinations.
I extend it for you.
Yes. We must just accept that it is done for the good of our soldiers and there is no need to politicize the matter.
We've also gone and done a story where we explained that this online petition was not started. In fact, we even said who started it. It wasn't started by NDF people. I'm sure, and even the general said, of course there are some NDF members that are against it. Yeah. Of course, like in any organization.
Yeah, of course.
But the majority actually not against it. Most of the people that are talking from outside of the NDF. But I wanted to get that policy because I think that is, while you maybe perhaps get to other news, I can just find this policy because I thought it was interesting. I mean, I learned so much from when I'm editing stories and all this information pops up. I certainly learn.
Tangeni with a capital T Nande says, Neville, please give a proper welcome to Sonny Rehan. The guy is our first viewer from that side of the world. Sonny, we are still waiting for you to declare yourself a little bit more so that we have an understanding. Are you in Afghanistan at the moment, or are you living here in Namibia as a Pakistani, or what? Give us a little bit more clarity. But if you are, then welcome to our show.
Either way, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to say the head of the NDF gave the compulsory vaccination order using 81 of the Defense Act 1 of 2002 that says, this is 2002, that says any member of the Defense Force or any services, medical services or reserve force may be required to submit to, and if so required, must submit to immunization against such communicable, infectious or epidemic illnesses as may be determined from time to time by a prescribed authority.
So it's mandatory?
Yes, they have a policy. That's what I'm saying. They just enforce the policy because this is an act that was drafted in 2002 that says NDF members may be required to submit to immunization from time to time.
Oh, ne.
So,
Okotwa.
yeah, so because you can't have a sick force. Imagine you're sick and we're going to war.
Yeah.
Not that I really worry about that in Namibia.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think this is a policy that's poorly in a lot of military because a country cannot afford to have sick defense force. You just can't. Shouldn't happen. So
Ro, we just decided that he is that side and not in Namibia. That's basically our comments.
Alrighty.
It's almost time. So it's going to be a busy day again today.
Yeah, we've got management meeting.
Management meetings, etc.
So do the audience know who's coming in, or that's going to be a surprise?
No. We're gonna leave that for now. Guys, it's been what we've done in the last 2-3 weeks was basically filtering through Namibian talent to join Informanté Live or the Morning Mix.
Informanté Live. So you join Informanté Live and then wherever you slot in, but it's Informanté Live.
Yeah. So we should be able to say within the next few days have an indication as to who will be joining us as a team. So and we can just wish whoever will be joining us, all the best, and then grow with us. And you know what? As we spoke about it on Friday, Tuva, and as you and me and Cubase have always been discussing, there's a beginning and an end to everything in life. Nothing
is forever. Hopefully your marriage is though.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing. Yeah. Maar Jo Mavutu is isn't it Jonani? Yeah. Jo Mavutu, you'll have to share or it will end one day. Okay? There are friends, there are people that you've been friends for, then for some reason sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Friendships come and go as well sometimes, yeah.
So as our show gained momentum over the years, and we always feared between the three of us, wie chip eerste.
I mean, I think all bets were on me chipping first, but I'm still standing.
Yeah. Elton John.
Yeah.
I'm still standing. Yeah, so it's on between you and me. Who's chipping out next?
Yeah. Let us see who's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah, but again, you know what? All that we try to do here, it's important for us to build this brand. Okay. Yes, and we've built our brand around our personalities, but we'll equally make sure that, you know what, whether sometimes Maria is not here, then the show must go on. Sometimes I'm not there, or Cubase was not here, and the show went on. So as long as we have the support of you guys, yeah.
Estomi says, I hope he's hot and single. Whoever is coming. Of course, these are always Estomi's requirements. Hopefully we consider it during the application process. Jenna says, the wait is over. It is me. I'm replacing Cubase.
Ja, Janice, ja. Von lekkerte mashonisa. It must be a mavutu. Let she be curved. Ooh, weet jy, ja. Ja, praat julle. So, Sonny Rehan says, I am Pakistan.
All right.
But where are you? Are you in Pakistan or are you a Pakistani or what are you saying?
Birthmark says, give us a hint. Is it a male or female? Just wait.
Kerwit, julle is ook oorig.
Oorig.
Yes. Oorige mense. Ja.
Shall I go doing that violent thing?
Hoor vir Roviera, net nie cheese nie asseblief. Ek sal vir cheese gaan sê wat as cheese op die stream. Cheese, hoor wat sê die ouens. Guys, Neville, what's going on today's English? It's toch Maandag, toch, asseblief.
That's his English every day. It's just you guys, usually Cubase is ready.
Yeah, it's my English every day, okay? I did not go to private school, so last minute 8. Tangeni with a capital T, Nande, please get someone from the Kavango region. There is something brewing there, okay?
Somebody said get lich. Me, I second that.
Get lich. Get lich moer mense van stages af.
I want to know the story there. I want to get lich in the studio so I can ask.
Guys, what?
Hey, guy, what happened?
What's the story behind that story of get lich to mooring that guy off stage? Please.
Is that a young teelgagje?
Hey, for lekkerte mashonisa. Is the Pakistan selling carpets or pots?
Never.
Nee.
Don't laugh. That is so derogatory.
Nee.
Yeah, but don't do that, guys.
Nee.
Yeah, no. Like, no, let me clarify it right now. Don't do that, guys. Like, it's so degrading to say stuff. It's just like when people see Chinese and they say "xing chang xing" or whatever. Trust me, it's not nice. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please.
Stop your nonsense.
Yeah. Okay. Even in jokes, don't do that.
Yeah. Sleg met die hart. Guys, that is our show for today. Nee? Ek weet nie as daar nog comments Sonny, you know what? I'm trying to, you know what? American president no call Pakistan President Imran Khan. Yeah, I'm trying to make out what you are saying.
Anyway, we did say that's our show today. Yeah, let us just call it a day. Guys, it's been real. And you must get ready for the music. You must cut off. Until tomorrow, guys.
Let me see. Yeah, okay. Enjoy your day.
Have a lovely one.
It's been a Monday. Starting with a lot of excitement. Keep the excitement and gaan doen julle se werk asseblief, né? And we're going to be back tomorrow morning, same place, same time, sharp. Okay, no.
This is Informanté Radio.
Live and in stereo. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, oh na na na. Gogo, jazz. Ben a boot. Ik weet jy kry toch koud, so kan ek jou stay vast hou. En jy beter stil lê. Anders kap ons hout. Ek's bereid om al jou knoppies te druk, tot jy flow val. Hoe voel jy nou? Sê maar, of kan ek jou? Kom ek soen jou tot die son, agter die berge opkom. Jy hoef my nie te soek nie, van ek gaan nergens heen nie. Kom ek soen jou tot die son, agter die berge opkom. Jy hoef my nie te soek nie, want ek gaan nergens heen nie.
Okay, jy hoef my nie te soek nie, jy weet waar jy my kry. Elke dag so lekker lach, jy maak my hartjie bly. Every minute conversation, know with you I wanna stay. No hesitation, real affection got me playing games. Maar ons kyk mos nie meer terug nie. Nee, never mind, ons verlede. Vergeet van alle stry en alle drama wat gebeur het. Ons